Trump sent unapologetic message to entire world that could erase Obama from history. We are truly living in historic times in Israel's history. We are watching history unfold before our eyes, one that is cause for great celebration around the world. Not only has President Donald Trump chosen to withdraw from the disastrous Obama-Iran nuclear deal, but he opened an American embassy in Jerusalem, a move that recognizes Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, and a move greatly appreciated by the people of Israel and most Jews in the world. Although most presidents we have seen during our lifetimes have promised to do what's right and recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, President Donald Trump did, and today our new embassy in the capital city of Jerusalem is now officially open for business. With this move, along with drawing the U.S. from the debacle that was the Iran nuclear deal which Obama put together during his weak presidency, President Trump has shown the world that America is back. And we aren't about to take a secondary role ever again. With Obama's Iran deal, he destroyed 70 years of bipartisan U.S. foreign policy in the Middle East. His delusional deal abandoned Israel and Egypt and alienated the Sunni Muslims in the moderate Arab states, by making sure they all would have to deal with a nuclear Iran. Iran is the leading state sponsor of terror and exports dangerous missiles while it supports terrorist proxies and militias like Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Taliban all over the world. The idea that Iran ever sought a peaceful nuclear energy program is absurd and 100% illogical. And even worse, when Obama decided to ignore the slaughter of Christians and the so-called Red Line in Syria which he himself drafted, he opened the door for Russia to become a dominant regional player in the Middle East. How's that for Russian collusion? Here is more on this month's events via Fox News. We are at a truly historic moment in Israel's history, one that is cause for great celebration. Not only has President Donald Trump chosen to withdraw from the disastrous Obama-Iran nuclear deal, but we are on the eve of the momentous opening of the American embassy in Jerusalem, a move that recognizes Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, and a move greatly appreciated by the people of Israel. President Trump's pullout from the Iran deal, although expected, became a virtual certainty when Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu proved through Israel's intelligence agency Mossad that Iran had been lying to the world as it continued to enrich uranium and develop nuclear weapons. Iranian documents uncovered by that same intel agency are proof positive that Iran lied. Iran? Lie. Shock. On Tuesday, the day of the withdrawal, bomb shelters opened up in the Golan Heights and the Israeli army was on high alert as Israel braced for imminent attack. In Israel, as we proceeded from Haifa to the Golan Heights, there were no sirens. School buses and taxis continued to run. In Tiberias at night, we heard the undeniable sound of rockets. At breakfast, we found out that indeed there had been an Iranian rocket offensive toward Israel from inside Syria. Israel responded with strategic precision, targeting Iranian munitions storage warehouses, logistics headquarters and intel systems within its proxy Syria. Israel does what Israel needs to do. He not only sends a message to Iran but to Russia as well, that the U.S. is back as a dominant regional player after the Obama years. He recognizes the reality that everyone else in the West willingly blinds themselves to, and that is that Jerusalem is the one and only capital of Israel. On Saturday, Iranians marched against the United States, protesting President Trump's decision to withdraw from their nuclear deal. Maybe they should consider protesting that the $150 billion Obama gave them in cash wasn't used to benefit them, but instead to support both Iran's nuclear development as well as its military budget which has grown by almost 40%. Obama's Iran deal destroyed 70 years of bipartisan U.S. foreign policy in the Middle East. His delusional deal abandoned Israel and Egypt, the largest Arab country, and alienated the Sunni Muslims in the moderate Arab states, guaranteeing they would face a nuclear Iran. Iran, the leading state sponsor of terror, exports dangerous missiles and supports terrorist proxies and militias like Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Taliban. The idea that it seeks a peaceful nuclear energy program is absurd to anyone with even half a brain. And as Obama turned his back on the slaughter of Christians and ignored his own red line in the Syria sand, he allowed Russia through this vacuum to become a dominant regional player in the Middle East. Donald Trump's withdrawal from that deal was the United States standing shoulder to shoulder with our ally Israel against the rest of the world. It sent a huge signal to Iran and Shia Muslims that we stood with the more moderate Sunnis. And although Great Britain and France had joined the United States earlier in taking out a Syrian weapons facility, they chose this time to stand with Iran against Israel and the United States. Trump has reassured the world that his word is worth more than former U.S. Presidents Bill Clinton, George W. Bush and Obama, all of whom made the promise to move the American embassy to Jerusalem. His word is worth more than any treaty and stronger than any UN resolution. He promised and he delivered. He not only sends a message to Iran but to Russia as well, that the U.S. is back as a dominant regional player after the Obama years. He recognizes the reality that everyone else in the West willingly blinds themselves to, and that is that Jerusalem is the one and only capital of Israel. Trump is simply putting his imprimatur on what has been history in the last 2,500 years, that Jerusalem has only been the capital of one people's country or kingdom, and that people is the Jews. And that country is and was Israel. The empires that tried to destroy Israel and its capital Jerusalem are long gone, yet the Jews still speak the same language and practice the same religion, which is the foundation of our own Judeo-Christian nation. Donald Trump sent Iranians who are the descendants of Persia a message to reflect on their own history, and that it was the king of Persia who, 1,000 years before Muhammad was even born, said that Jerusalem was the capital of the Jewish people's country. There will be no Ottoman empires or Shia nations that will destroy Jerusalem any longer. Donald Trump recognized history. He, like King Cyrus before him, fulfilled the biblical prophecy of the gods worshipped by Jews, Christians and, yes, Muslims, that Jerusalem is the eternal capital of the Jewish state and that the Jewish people deserve a righteous, free and sovereign Israel.